We are here with Dakota Ditcheva, biggest prospect in the women's MMA scene. So, Dakota, welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really well, yeah.
Yeah, you have a huge fight coming up against Talia Santos, who has a ton of credentials in the women's MMA space. So, just give me a little background about what's going on in your neck of the woods. Obviously, you got some beautiful weather going on where you're at.
Yeah. I'm in Florida at the moment, so it's nice today. We've had a little bit of rain, which has been a little reminder of the UK, somewhat close to home. But yeah, everything's going really well. I've had a really good camp again. Um, Definitely a few different emotions again coming into this fight with it being the final, things like that. I've got a tough opponent ahead. And as well, I think knowing that it's the last fight of the tournament, the back of your mind, the tournament's coming to an end. It's like it's definitely been a lot of new emotions again, but it's been really good. I've had a really successful camp, so I'm excited to get over there and finish the job now.
What does your training looked like in the lead to this fight? It's November 29th. It's a huge fight. So it's coming up here 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been training twice a day, obviously. I mean, camp's just been, I feel like I've been in camp all year. There hasn't really been a time where I don't really call it a camp anymore. It's just a lifestyle, honestly. This year has been amazing for me. It's the year that I've really seen the most progress. And I think that's probably because I've just been living this lifestyle and not like doing an 8 week camp and having a break and an 8 week camp. So I feel like I've seen a lot of progress this time. And yeah, I'm excited to showcase it all. I feel like I've shown little bits of it throughout the tournament for sure for my first three fights. So I'm excited now to go out there and do it one more time for everyone.
What would this fight mean to you? A victory here is obviously worth tons to you, not just, I mean, financial,
Yeah.
career wise. Just give us a feel. Like, what would you feel a victory? How would that feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, every fight is just as important for me, so it's hard to say like, oh, this one means more. It definitely does. There's obviously a big lump sum of money. There's a world title. I think that's the one thing for me that I'm actually more excited about the world title than I am the money, just because we get paid every fight. The money will come. I know it will the rest of my career, but for me, it's keeping that O on my record. I want to be 14-0 after this fight. And I want to be world champion. I want to be the best. Everyone seemed to think that Tyler was the girl to beat in this tournament, which I stand by that. She definitely is. And I'm excited to go out there and kind of just showcase the skills that I've got and be able to say I beat her. And that's kind of what everyone's been talking about me this tournament a little bit. They wanted to see this fight, so I'm excited that it's here. Everyone's going to get to witness, an amazing female fight, and I'm excited.
So Talia had a crazy fight at one point against Valentina Shevchenko. At the time, Valentina Shevchenko is top of the world, right? Untouchable, unbeatable. Talia gives her probably the best run for her money that anyone did. And it was a split decision loss, but many thought she had won. I know that she was a betting favorite during the fight. So, many people thought that she
Yeah.
had a good opportunity. Have you watched that fight over? Do you have any thoughts about it?
Yeah, I watched it at the time. I thought she's amazing. I mean, Talia, she's someone that I've watched in the UFC. I've watched her and thought, wow, what an amazing fighter before. So I know she's very good. There's been no denying that. I've never once tried to argue that. I know what I've got in front of me, but I'm just excited to like be at this level now and be on par with her because I don't see her as better than me. I've fought the same girl that she fought last time, Jenna Bishop. I got a first round stoppage. She went split decision with her. So for me, I don't feel like there's too much difference there. I'm just excited to go in and show it. For me, it's not about talking and saying, I'm going to beat her. I'm not impressed by her and this, that, and the other. It's kind of I'll just get in there and show everyone that way.
Um, Her grappling is
Mhm.
solid, right? And you're probably the best woman striker out there right now. So the
Yeah.
story of this fight is going to be very interesting. What do you think about just the stylistic matchup that we have here?
Yeah, I mean, she can strike as well. I wouldn't say that her grappling's like wow, Jenna Bishop's a black belt and she went back and forth with her. I got straight up when Jenna took me down. So I don't feel like even if it goes to the floor, I think I'll surprise people that way anyway. I won't panic. I'll fight with her on the floor if that's where the fight ends up. But I think with us both being high level strikers, I do see her as a very good striker. Then I think we can showcase quite a good stand up game. But it's whether she wants to stay there with me and hit it out. So we'll see what happens.
So you're a betting favorite right now. You're minus 270.
Okay.
I'm a betting guy, right? I do a lot of betting, especially in MMA. So what would you say about being a minus 270 favorite? Are you surprised? Not surprised?
Yeah, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I would have thought, she'd be the favorite to win for sure. Like you said, she's got the kind of the accolades that everyone kind of talks about and stuff. So I'm a little bit surprised there. But for me, I don't look at any of that stuff like betting and all that stuff. I'm not really bothered what it says.
Yeah.
When we get in and fight, that's what makes the difference. So
Totally. Some people are. When I interviewed Paddy Pimblett ahead of his fight against Bobby Green, he was a betting underdog and he was real surprised.
was he?
Oh yeah, he was shocked. He was like, "What?" It was,
Fair enough.
um, but yeah, so I mean, what if say you this is your, this is like your debut in PFL and yet you fought a bunch, you've been super active, and now it's
Mm.
all culminating to this spot where you could change your life in terms of financially speaking. Career speaking, what would challenge you after that if you come away with a dub here?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. So much is changing in the sport, especially with PFL. They're coming up with so many different opportunities. They're like, branching off into so many different countries, different areas, and into different, things that you never know what they can just come up with like that. So next year, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I don't know whether they'll want me to defend the belt and do the tournament again. I would personally like to maybe have, a few big fights rather than be in the season again. Get some. I feel like I pull in the numbers for sure. I think it's said it all that I'm co-main again. Me and Brendan, two Manchester people, headlining the finals. So I feel like, some big fights like that, some pay-per-view cards, maybe some big names would be interesting for me. But we'll see, we have to find the right opponents and it has to work for PFL as well. It's a business at the end of the day. So we'll see what they come up with.
Are there any specific names that you'd have in mind in your women's era, whether it's PFL or it could be anywhere, but any name specifically interest you?
Yeah, anyone really, anyone. They've brought a load of girls over from Bellator. Obviously, there's Liz Carmouche. There's a few Bellator girls that were in the tournament that I didn't get to fight, like Vasquez, is it you say? That last name. So there's plenty of girls. There's still a lot of tough fights out there for me to have. So we'll see. I think it's just hard. Tyler was the girl to beat, and when I beat her, it's kind of where do I go from there? Like it has to make sense for me after that, I think, I don't want to kind of go down and then people say, why are you fighting her? Because that's what I've had the whole time. So it's got to make sense to me. But yeah, we'll see what me and PFL can knock up together and hopefully it'll be something interesting.
Well, that's the interesting part of this, right? Like Talia is like was supposed to be the boogie woman
Yeah.
of this tournament. So you favored to beat her, substantially favored to beat her, would kind of complicate things for you specifically, I feel like.
Yeah. I think do you know it's interesting because I don't know whether like she was put in there to maybe like kind of rattle things up a little bit. Her and Liz, two champions. I mean, I was coming up from the Europe scene. Like, I'm not actually, if you look at my experience compared to these other girls, I'm not that experienced. I haven't actually had the round time that they've had either. So I think they were probably put in there to kind of slow me down a little bit. And I think I've probably surprised PFL as well. So we're definitely going to have to sit down together next year and just, see where we go from here and make sure that I've got some kind of direction that's going to keep moving me upwards, because I don't want to kind of be going backwards at any point. I'm not here to go backwards.
That's kind of what happened to Kayla Harrison, reality, right?
Mm.
Kayla Harrison ran through the women's division at 135 and just ran out of opponents, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of what happened. So
Yeah.
I guess the hope would be that doesn't happen to you, right?
Yeah, and I'm not really like, I mean, Kayla, I've looked up to her and her journey a lot, especially being at the same gym. It's been interesting to, watch her journey and learn a lot from it. I think like fighting the same person three times like doesn't interest me, and like Kayla would say the same thing. It doesn't make sense to do that. So if they're going to put me in the tournament with the same girls and run it all over again, it's kind of not really what I want to do for my career. And I think it will probably, I don't know. I don't know whether that would be good for my brand, And I think PFL have to kind of sit down with me and work that out and see what's best.
Well, the good thing
But
you have Audi backing you because he's a really good agent, especially for stuff outside of the
yeah.
ring, right? Anything specific that you've been doing that has been fun, interesting outside of the ring, or is it just full business in the training mode right now?
I mean, it's definitely full business until Saturday, Sunday, I try to do something different, but I am just very locked in. And I think camp is very tiring as well. So to be honest, I don't really like to do much, between training, just chill out, sit by the pool like I am now, or, just relax. But I've been trying to I love going to different sports. I went to my first American football game the other day, college football, which was an amazing experience. I like to, try and sometimes go to the basketball or do things like that, because I just love sports in general. It's not just, I'm never just fixated on MMA. I just love to watch different sports. So that's kind of the one thing that I'll do on the weekend.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. You know, you're with the PFL. You signed with the PFL like immediately, like right out of like your prior promotion. Um, and then
Yeah.
Patty Pimblett was Cage Warriors, and then right to the UFC.
Yeah.
What specifically like made you jump to PFL instead?
Yeah, I was fighting on a few different shows. So I'd been over to Abu Dhabi and fought on UAE Warriors and fought on some other shows. I did get the opportunity to go to Cage Warriors if I wanted to. It just kind of didn't appeal to me at the time, but I was taking one fight contracts everywhere. So I wasn't tying in with any company, but I felt like it was kind of again slowing me down. I wasn't building a momentum and I wasn't kind of building a fan base with one promotion, which I feel like was really important. So when the opportunity came for me to go to PFL Europe, do that tournament, and then they said I could go to the global season the year after when I've won it, then it kind of just stuck out to me. And it was kind of the best decision I ever made, really, because I've been able to kind of really have a plan for the last 2 years and know what direction I'm going. I built up in Europe, I won that, and then I come over here, and now I feel like I've built a fan base in America. And it's funny because I look at my Instagram stats and things like that now, and it's kind of like the states have taken over for how many people are on my account. It used to be like ahead in the UK, and now it's like the United States, which is good. It kind of shows that what I'm doing over here is working, and I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, no, you're definitely doing the right thing, and your style is super interesting. Like a lot of women
Yeah.
fighters, pretty much. I mean, Holly Holm and Cyborg, I guess, not them, but a lot of grappling in the women's.
Yeah.
A lot of submissions are cool and takedowns are cool, but a lot of times you get a lot of those grinded out decisions with the
Yeah.
grappling and the clinching. But you're not about that. Is there anything specific like that training wise that you do? Like, I mean, just walk me through your style is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it's just me as a fighter, my style. I think my mum's style was the same. It was kind of we get in there and it's like kill or be killed. We're not there to fight. We're not there to just fight. We're there to make a statement and we're aggressive. Like I'm a normal person outside the cage, but I've just got that switch that not all fighters get. So I feel like that is the difference. And it's funny, I was talking to Joanna Jacek the other day in the gym. She came by and she just said you've got that click that I had. You've got that when you're stuck in the cage, it's kind of like something switches and you go into a different person. And I feel like that's probably what sets me apart.
That's totally fair. Did you say that your mom was fighting?
Yeah, my mum used to be a fighter, so that's where I get my striking from. She was my coach all the way up until I changed over to MMA in uh what year was it? Maybe 2020. I moved over to MMA. Yeah, and she was my coach for striking the whole entire time.
That's amazing. So she was what,
Yeah.
kickboxing or MMA or?
She was kickboxing, Thai boxing, and full contact karate. MMA wasn't really a thing too much for females back when, she was fighting. So she probably would have done that. She was the type of person that would have tried it out, but she just didn't get a chance before she retired. Yeah.
Wow, so it's in your blood, huh?
It is definitely in my blood. Yeah.
That's amazing. Does she have a role in your life currently with your training?
Yeah, me and my mum are best friends. Training wise, she'll still I'll send her my sparring rounds sometimes. She'll watch them, give me a little bit of feedback. Whenever I'm back home in the UK, she's got a Thai boxing gym there, so that's where I've always done my training. So I'll go back there and always work with her. She still coaches, so yeah, it's a very unique relationship, but interesting story.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I feel like there's probably going to be documentary about it someday. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, one day they will for sure.
100%. I'll wrap you up in a minute here, but just in terms of like training when you're are what kind of I don't even what belt are you, I guess, in jiu-jitsu? We'll start with that. And just talk to me about grappling training, takedown defense and stuff like that. We haven't really seen you even have to do it, but just for future.
Yeah, I work it a lot. I have to work my ground game because these girls always want to take me down. So I'm constantly working on that in the gym. My belt wise, I've been graded in the UK. I'm a purple belt, so it's not something that I kind of went to do like I wanted to grade or anything. I was just kind of promoted while I was training, MMA and stuff. So yeah, I'm a purple belt. I feel like I kind of don't put too much pressure on myself. I just learn all the time, take down defense. But I think one thing that people forget is that my striking, I still have to work on my striking. Otherwise, my timing, everything will go. It's just as important to me now to keep working my striking as much as it is to work my jiu-jitsu and my takedown defense. And it'll always be like that. People think like, oh, you don't even need to strike anymore. Just like work your jiu-jitsu, you'll be fine. It's not how it works. It's definitely not how it works. And the amount that people are progressing these days, fighters, you have to stay top of your game. So I work everything and I'm confident in all areas because, I don't miss a session. I don't kind of neglect one thing and lean on another. It's kind of my all round game is always being worked on.
Do you feel like your like arms and leg length like are a major advantage for you in grappling, or would you say that they're even a disadvantage?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
My height is definitely an advantage in striking if you use it well. I seem to be able to use my height quite well. Wrestling wise, I don't know. I feel like shorter people are always like stockier and stronger and able to wrestle easier. So I don't know. I suppose it's personal preference, but for striking, definitely my height is an advantage.